Liverpool admires Mark Guehi transfer alternative as Reds face Tottenham competition. Liverpool transfer news, rumors, and gossip as the Reds continue to be linked with players ahead of the summer window. Jurgen Klopp's side are reportedly eyeing up a move for a Brentford defender. Liverpool are reportedly keeping a keen eye on Brentford defender Nathan Collins this summer. As per Give Me Sport, the ex-Wolves player is held in high regard within Anfield. Jarell Quansah, who made his move to Bayer Leverkusen earlier this summer, has yet to be replaced, making the acquisition of a center-back a top priority for Arne Slot. The defensive injury crisis of the 2020-2021 season, which threw Liverpool's title defense off track, remains a vivid memory, and the club can't risk a repeat. As we approach the new Premier League season, the Reds only have two dependable senior defenders in captain Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate, limiting rotation options. However, Liverpool could well face competition from Tottenham Hotspur for Collins, with Thomas Frank reportedly keen to sign the Republic of Ireland star. Collins was recently made club captain by his new head coach and fellow countryman Keith Andrews, which further complicates any potential exit from West London. Give Me Sport suggests that the Premier League champion's interest in Collins remains tentative, with no approach having been made yet. Liverpool is reportedly keeping tabs on Brentford captain Nathan Collins. Having carved out a crucial role at the heart of Brentford's defense, the club has no intention of letting Collins go, reports the Liverpool Echo. In other news, Liverpool have had two bids turned down for Crystal Palace and England defender Mark Guehi, as reported by Foot Mercado. He asserts that the player won't cause a rift with Palace to join the Reds this summer. However, The Guardian's Ed Aarons implies that Anfield is believed to be his preferred destination, but there is a possibility that Newcastle United could reignite their interest. Palace have reportedly valued Guehi at $53 million, despite turning down a $93.2 million offer from Tottenham in January. Jamie Carragher's brutal opinion on Isak: "I don't want Liverpool to spend £150 million. Jamie Carragher: "Isak, I don't want Liverpool to spend £150 million. Former Liverpool defender Jamie Carragher has opened up on Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak and how he may not be the ideal signing. With news this week stating that RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko has chosen Manchester United over the Magpies, Liverpool's hopes of signing Isak have all but collapsed, as it means Newcastle are very unlikely to see the Sweden international at any price heading into the new season. The Premier League champions last week saw a £110 million plus add-ons bid turned down by Newcastle for the 25-year-old who scored 23 league goals last season and is said to be valued at £150 million. Now, speaking on the overlap fan debate, Carragher believes that the Reds should not be spending so much money on a striker the club do not necessarily need. He, Isak, will be an amazing signing, but from a fan's point of view for myself, I don't want Liverpool to spend £150 million on Isak. There's something about Liverpool buying another striker, Ekitike, and he's backup. Something about it doesn't feel right to me. I look at Isak and he's obviously thrown his toys out the pram once Arsenal signed a striker and Liverpool signed a striker. It feels a bit messy to me now. Liverpool have spent well over £200 million this summer already, with the arrivals of Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong, Milos Kerkez, Hugo Ekitike, and Georgi Mamardashvili. Despite such excellent business, Carragher believes that the club are being slightly reckless in the transfer market and are spending for the sake of it when it comes to Isak. For me, when I think of Liverpool, it doesn't look really planned. I don't think the plan is to buy a striker for £80 million and then be looking to buy another one for £120 million. In terms of what Liverpool have done in the summer by bringing in players, they've spent a lot of money and it doesn't feel like the Liverpool way of doing things so much. Newcastle are braced for a second bid for Isak. However, he is unlikely to be sold unless the club can find a ready-made replacement, which puts Isak in a tricky situation heading into the new campaign. Liverpool fail with two insulting Mark Guehi bids. Crystal Palace have rejected two insulting bids from Liverpool for Mark Guehi, according to a report. The free-spending Reds are still not done in the market as two priorities remain unresolved. The first is to get a deal for top target Alexander Isak over the line. The second pressing issue is to bolster the club's defensive options. Following the sale of Jarell Quansah, Liverpool only have Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, and Joe Gomez available as natural, senior center backs, and this is clearly not enough. The Anfield Club have been far from convincing defensively in pre-season. So there is a good argument to be made that sporting director Richard Hughes should prioritize the signing of a defender over Isak. Crystal Palace star Mark Guehi is viewed as a top target for the center-back position, but this potential deal is proving very difficult for Liverpool, who are wary not to overspend given that he only has a year remaining on his contract. Liverpool bids rejected. According to Foot Mercado, Liverpool have already placed 2 bids for the England defender, both of which were deemed insulting and subsequently rejected by Crystal Palace. The Eagles are demanding at least 55 million euros for Guehi, which is a significant premium on his estimated transfer value, ETV, of 41.6 million euros. Liverpool are unwilling to match Palace's demands and are ready to move on to different targets. It is claimed that the Eagles are demanding at least 55 million for Guehi, which is a significant premium on his estimated transfer value, AETV, of 41.6 million euros. Liverpool are unwilling to match Palace's demands and are ready to move on to different targets, it is claimed. Guehi, for his part, would be keen on a move to Merseyside, but he remains respectful of Palace and will not agitate for a transfer. Liverpool could try to sign him on a Bosman next summer, but there is clearly a well-founded urgency to sign a defender this summer. Alexander Isak transfer, not a strange scenario, as bold Liverpool strategy defended. Liverpool continued to be interested in Newcastle United forward Alexander Isak, despite seeing £110 million bid rejected last week. Alexander Isak of Newcastle United. Michael Owen believes Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak moving to Liverpool ticks a lot of boxes and has dismissed criticism over the pursuit of the player. The Reds saw a £110 million bid for Isak rejected by the Magpies last week, having been longtime admirers of the Sweden international. Isak has informed Newcastle of his desire to seek a fresh challenge elsewhere, with Liverpool understood to be his preferred destination. Reports have also suggested he has no intention of signing a new contract at St. James Park, with 3 years left to run on his present deal. The 25-year-old missed Newcastle's tour of the Far East due to a minor injury and was instead spotted training in Spain with a personal instructor, but has since returned to the Magpies training ground amid a warning from boss Eddie Howe that he must earn the right to rejoin the first-team squad. Liverpool have no plans to make a second bid for Isak as things stand, but haven't ended their interest and are keeping a watchful eye on developments at Newcastle. And while both the Reds and Isak have been lambasted by some for their behavior, former Newcastle and Liverpool forward Owen believes their respective actions are merely par for the course. "This is not a strange scenario," he said. "It happens all the time. It's a high-profile scenario, but it's the same scenario as what happens all the time." There are a lot of simple things that go into the discussion. From Newcastle's point of view, they've got a player who's under contract, and they've got to weigh up the balance of the finances, what they could receive, maybe having an unhappy player, or maybe keeping someone against his will. But at the end of the day, they've got him tied to a contract, so they do hold a big say in this whole scenario. There are 3 different positions at play here, and we'll see how it transpires, Owen added. Remember that Newcastle are obviously in the Champions League as well. At the start of the season, Newcastle are offering exactly what Liverpool are in terms of the competitions they're in. However, we all, or at least the vast majority of people, would say that Liverpool have a better chance of winning the league, winning the Champions League, and winning other trophies than Newcastle. And if that's the case, and the contract will inevitably be a lot better if he makes a move to Liverpool, then it ticks a lot of boxes. You can see why it could be turning the player's head. You can see why Liverpool would want him. Liverpool are in the process of reconfiguring their forward options, with Hugo Ekitike having joined from Eintracht Frankfurt for an initial £69 million, while Luis Diaz has departed to Bayern Munich for £65.5 million. And speaking to Ask Gamblers on behalf of the Echo, Owen believes Darwin Núñez could be the next to leave the club. "Listen, Núñez is obviously a talented boy. That's why he got signed by Liverpool. But is he going to be a starter?" said Owen. Is he going to improve significantly enough to justify it? If you're going to be a Liverpool center forward at the moment, you need to be one of the very, very best in the world. And is he that? I don't think so, no. I think he's an asset that Liverpool will be thinking about trading, depending on how they go in the transfer market. If Isak comes, then I think he might be surplus, and they might be best offloading and getting some money for him, because he is going to be in demand for a certain type of team. Of Diaz departing, Owen added, I was surprised. From the player's point of view, I couldn't understand why he would want to leave the reigning champions, a team that's going to have an excellent chance of winning the Champions League this season, for a team that isn't as good as Liverpool at the moment, in my opinion. So unless Liverpool wanted to cash in or needed to bring some money in to re-energize other positions, I don't know. He's definitely replaceable, but I did like him. I thought he was good, and he will be missed. Benjamin Sesko decision is a gamble, but Man United are doing what they said they would. Manchester United are taking another risk in their ongoing pursuit of Benjamin Sesko amid their obvious need for a proven goalscorer. Manchester United have made an opening offer for Benjamin Sesko. Manchester United have been down this road before. After signing Rasmus Højlund from Atlanta in the 2023 summer transfer window, United are now trying to sign another young striker in the form of RB Leipzig ace Benjamin Sesko. United are understood to have submitted an opening offer for the striker worth just under £74 million. It is a significant fee for a player that has never scored more than 15 goals in a single season in one of Europe's top 5 leagues. The Slovenian international scored 13 Bundesliga goals for Leipzig last season and 14 the season before. It is a respectable return for a player that only turned 22 at the very end of May. But is it good enough to command such an eye-watering price tag? Newcastle United have, of course, also expressed plenty of interest in the former Red Bull Salzburg striker, making 2 bids for his services thus far. Their second offer is reportedly worth more than United's opening bid. Attracting such interest from 2 Premier League clubs suggests both United and Newcastle are firmly of the belief Sesko is a striker that has the capability to come to England and make all the difference. The Reds, after finishing last season with a goal difference of -10, have prioritized attacking signings this summer, already bringing in Matheus Cunha from Wolves and Brian Mbeumo from Brentford. However, the missing piece in the jigsaw remains a number 9. In Cunha and Mbeumo, United have signed 2 players with proven Premier League records. They scored 35 league goals between them last term and have plundered 71 career goals in England's top flight. As a result of their additions to Ruben Amorim's squad, United are within their rights to believe they can take a gamble on Sesko and deploy him at the tip of what would be a new-look attack. The Slovenian would be able to lean on them for support to help ease the burden on his shoulders. Ruben Amorim is desperate to bring in a striker. United have also expressed interest in Aston Villa striker Ollie Watkins recently. He boasts a proven Premier League record and has plundered 35 goals league since the start of the 2023-24 campaign. Watkins would offer a greater guarantee of hitting the ground running at Old Trafford and providing immediate results in front of goal. He knows the league inside out and has a very respectable record. On the flip side, Sesko has a higher ceiling than the England international, and potential is what United would be buying. Only turning 22 just over 2 months ago, he is still raw and developing. However, United, ahead of the start of this season, want to try and implement a long-term strategy under Amorim that can lead them to a position from which they will be able to launch a genuine title charge for the 2027-28 season. Project 150 was unveiled last year, and it has been created with the ambition of United winning the Premier League title in 2028 to coincide with their 150th anniversary. United's aim for the coming season, first and foremost, has to be securing a place back in Europe for the 2026-27 campaign. The Reds will be without European football this season for the first time since 2014-15. Although United will have fight from a low base to secure their place back in Europe for next season, they will be confident of doing so with the new signings they have made so far. Furthermore, a full preseason for Amorim already appears to be paying off. Manchester United hope to win the race for Benjamin Sesko. Signing Sesko as a long-term option is something United can, to a degree, get away with this summer amid their additions of proven Premier League operators in Mbeumo and Cunha. The club, in the last 12 months or so, has shown through their recruitment they are prepared to sign young players with a long-term plan in mind. Sesko is by no means the finished article, and signing him would represent another massive risk in the attacking department. But there is no doubt about his potential, meaning he could prove to be a shrewd addition in the long term.